Alright guys, so the Tolkien update 6.3. I'm sorry, but I couldn't record immediately in the wake of the update because my LG9 wasn't working properly. Then I installed pending drivers and now everything is fine. And my capture card is somewhere unknown in my place, so I cannot record unless the LG9 is working. But now, since it is working, I can quickly share my initial thoughts on the update. The update is just decent. They added Homelander, who is, by the way, pretty great. I did something like 6 or 7 million damage on his revenge attacks in Faction Wars. So I reckon if you can build a good strategy around him, you can more or less one-shot, definitely you can one-shot one boss with a revenge attack. But if you find a way to do damage to all the tagged out enemies, probably you can almost one-shot the 3 bosses with one revenge attack. I'm yet to test that. So I want to talk in this video, which is going to be very negative, about the worst part of the update. So we have the Crypt new difficulty, good. We have the Homelander, good. We have a lot of things that have been nerfed in the background, very bad. Now, at this point, guys, I almost don't play the game. So I couldn't care less whether they nerf this or that. I'm not whining on anything, I'm just trying to help the game. At least to understand why it's important to have integrity. You cannot, I repeat that. Sorry about that. So, you cannot nerf one of the very best pieces in the game years after it has been there, in a game that doesn't even have multiplayer. You cannot nerf it to the ground and make it completely useless. Because a lot of people are spending time and money. Some of them are playing grinding a lot in order to max this piece, or let's say get it to some decent fusion. Some other players are spending money. And suddenly, years after this piece has been released, the gaming studio, bam, snap its fingers and decide that this piece is too overpowered. And the worst part, guys, the worst part is not that they decided to nerf it. The worst part is that they completely butchered it. And the second worst part is that they never even bothered to let us know. So, if you want to nerf something, don't butcher it, right? Make sure that instead of 35% team basic attack and block chance, for instance, it gives 30 or something in that realm, but do not make sure that it's become useless. It is very bad. How do I know that tomorrow you're not going to nerf Homelander? Imagine that I want to max out Homelander now with money. I spent, I don't know how much, $500. And the next, not even the next update, like 2 updates from now, they nerf the damage he deals from 6 million to 60,000 on the revenge attack. For example, I won't be feeling good, right? Because I paid for those 6 million, I didn't pay for 60,000. The point is, if you want to nerf something, try to nerf it as soon as possible. You release the Rocking Bowling Stones, you see that it's a super overpowered piece of equipment, nerf it immediately, let's say 2 weeks after release. And don't nerf it completely, don't butcher it. Make sure that it's still useful. The same thing goes for the Midnight Stalker site. I don't believe that this piece was super overpowered. And the reason for that is that you can only start using it super effectively if you have other very good pieces and you have specific characters. So it was very nice for specific characters with specific team sets and like item sets. So generally speaking, I consider it to be borderline overpowered but not super OP. Yet they decided to nerf it. Again, they didn't bother to let us know in the comment section that, hey there, this piece has been nerfed because this and this. I saw the patch notes. I never saw a word about the Midnight Stalker site and the Rocking Bowling Stones. And I consider this to be a very negative thing of the whole game in general. Because while I believe that there was an improvement, because a couple of years ago, I believe there wasn't really such detailed explanation of what they did. It was an improvement, but I still cannot understand why they don't inform us about such important events. There was a case where they buffed Kanos by giving them stun on Special 1. It wasn't really like noted in the patch notes. I was like, well, this is a huge change. Why nobody let us know? So now they decide to nerf these pieces out of thin air, and still nobody is going to be bothered to say, hey there, we basically nerfed this and this because this and that. Now, granted, they're going to hopefully reverse the changes they did. They're going to revert them. At least they said a new patch is on the horizon, 6.3.1. But still, the sour taste of our mouths is still there. You must, I mean, at the end of the day, this is the easiest thing to do. even if you decide to do such crazy nerfs that are going to butcher an item, at least put it in the comments, in the patch notes. It is super easy. I don't understand how you can miss things like this. It's insane. It's insane. Again, the point of this game from the developer or management side is for the game to basically to generate more money. How do you generate more money? By building a positive, healthy relationship with your customers, with your player base. They want a game that they can trust. They want to make sure that if they want to spend some money, it's not going to be for nothing, because 2 months later, the gear is going to be completely butchered. But anyways, guys, there isn't a perfect game, but the lack of integrity, in my opinion, is one of the worst sides of MK Mobile. And the worst part about it is that it is the easiest thing to fix. It is, you have Realm Warriors, just ask them, okay, is it going to be a good idea to do this to this item? Like, yeah, anyways. This is going to be all for me today. I hope you found this video useful. Please let me know what you think down below in the comment section. I'm going to make a couple of more videos this update. The next one is going to be about Homelander. I believe he's awesome. But yeah, this is a topic for another video. Take care, guys.